guys, this is Sarah's night,
And Lantis.
and welcome back to part whatever of Let's Play Resident Evil Remake. And we're finally going to get to the underground after I've been... This,
Well,
you
you're
know,
not going
this-
to die. You're not going to die this time because you already
this
got your
stage
death out
of
of
the
the way.
game where you return to the house, open up all the doors with the helmet key, you know, dispose of the hunters, clean them out. It really shouldn't have taken an hour, but it has. Because I just... kinda...
Well, yeah, you know.
Alright, well, we got what we need. Let's go. We had the same old elevator in the courtyard. Got to get that to work again.
Got to get
Because Jill just can't get her hair wet by walking underneath the waterfall.
No, in my hair.
I assume what it really was that, from her perspective, she couldn't tell that there was an underground passage behind it until she turned off the waterfall.
Maybe.
I'm assuming that's what the deal is, because I cannot imagine Jill being a sissy about that kind of thing. I really can't.
Well, maybe she wouldn't if she had the urge to herbal. Can you just see an herbal commercial
Yeah.
in the waterfall? She's got the urge to herbal.
We should make our own bit of that.
And
splicing, Jill walking under the waterfall in Resident Evil.
She's
gameplay
got the
and-
urge for mixed herbal.
Yeah. And put it up on YT, call it Resident Essence.
Residence. There's a joke in there somewhere.
There he is.
I'm just too lazy to find it.
Daggum snakes. Oh, God, you went for it, you bastard. I knew you were going to. Like, that one's just coiled and waiting for you on that corner.
He was like, "Don't tread on me." And then you tread on him.
If you step on me, I'll bite you, I swear.
I swear.
Yes, Big Laugh, the pink rattlesnake. And it's very dangerous. But they're real easy to spot, son. Who was that, Bill, Lingual?
Ingval.
Ingval.
He's just another one of them redneck comedians.
Kind of said that with a little bit of despise.
Well,
Despot.
I never really had that much of a problem with them until that one guy got super popular.
Jeff Foxworthy?
No. It's more recent than him.
Larry the Cable Guy?
That guy, yeah. The get her done guy, I cannot stand him. If there were ever just bad things. Bad things. If he were a puppy, I would duct tape him to my foot and use him for a shoe. See how I'm bringing that back?
Yeah. I see. It seems like these days, aside from, the older comedians who were once great but fell from grace, like Eddie Murphy or Robin Williams, who nobody seems to like anymore.
I love Robin Williams.
The most hated comedian by far is like Dane Cook. He's like the most fun to hate.
All right,
But
look.
I listen to him.
Right, yeah. All right, look.
But I do see where he would like get on people's nerves, and I've always been hearing. I personally haven't caught one myself, but I'm always hearing that he steals all kind of jokes. What they are, I don't know.
Well, even if... Well, I mean, not every joke can be original, right? He might have borrowed it, but the thing is, Dane Cook has a certain...
way of cracking those jokes that makes it...
He's very animated, he has a lot of hand gestures, and
Yeah.
the way he emphasizes certain words when he talks, I don't know, it's just... I don't hate Dane Cook, right?
I don't hate him as in I listen to him, but I guess I can understand why people would get annoyed.
You know what, alright, who do you think is the most easiest or most hated, or easiest band to hate, music-wise? It's the first one that comes to your mind.
The first one that always comes to mind is Nickelback. I hear
Right?
nothing but hate.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, hating Nickelback.
Like, at least on the level of Justin Bieber or, Backstreet Boys back when it was their time. like they had just as many haters as they did fans, and like I would say Nickelback is definitely up there, but it's like they're not good. I mean, I wouldn't like buy their albums and stuff, but
there is so much.
But when a Nickelback song comes on, I'm like, you know what? I'm so glad it's a Nickelback song right now,
and not
just about any other
Lady Gaga or
any other modern pop.
Or Black Eyed Peas. Oh my gosh.
Nicki Minaj, Katy Perry. I have so many. There's so many different like pop artists I hate. Well, I don't. Hate the person. I hate their music so bad.
Right.
It's wrong for me to say I hate somebody.
I'll say it. I hate them. I hate them on a personal level. More like them as a person.
More like despise. Maybe despise is a better word. But, dude, I can't, I can just start cranking out names of pop artists whenever, like, I'm in front of the mannequin that they put up for us to, like, practice kicks on.
Yeah.
In martial arts class. I'm like, okay, next one, roundhouse kick, Katy Perry, whap! And I just it enrages me to hit it as hard as I can. And finally, one time I was just like, no, this isn't Katy Perry, this isn't Nicki Minaj, this isn't blah blah blah. This is Square Enix. I think I kicked it so hard I would have broken 6 pine boards if it had been.
Is that voice
Enrique?
You're alive.
And this dude that I used to train with all the time, Josh, he was 18, 19 years old, really tall guy. We kind of got to be friends, and I liked him as a sparring partner. When I did the Square Enix, he goes, I know what you mean, man. Behind me, when he was coming up for his turn, he was like, I hear you.
No! No, he's dead! Turn around, go see Wesker, he's there! Or it might have... It's Wesker. It's Albert. It's Albert Wesker. And kind of Barry.
I'm wondering if, in some scenarios, it was plausible that Wesker forced Barry to shoot him.
I don't think Barry shot him.
Well, you find Barry here in a little bit, though, and it's
right.
kind of suspicious.
Look, if Barry actually...
Wesker's probably already, on his way to the lab right now, and probably has... Whoa!
Hi!
Kind of forgot about that.
But yeah, I don't hate Dane Cook, and I don't hate Nickelback.
They're just I'll listen to them if they're on, I guess.
Let's see, what is other, movies that are hated? Well, golly, there's a lot of movies that were...
Okay, there's handgun bullets over there and handgun bullets over here. So, what?
The newest X-Men movie, Days of Future Past, was
did that flop or
actually?
Because I heard after X3, everybody hated X3 so much that it First Class was a serious breath of fresh air.
Well, First Class, there was this one offshoot where freaking Wolverine went to Japan and all this stuff, but Days of Future Past, I can say without a doubt, is one of my favorite X-Men films now. It was really well done. One of the biggest problems I had about the X-Men series in general, at least the motion picture, was they cannot get the camera off of Hugh Jackman, right? It's just if Hugh Jackman's not on camera,
yeah.
they're freaking an alcoholic, just locked in a room without any booze. Just oh my gosh, I gotta get it. Where's Hugh Jackman? We gotta get him back on screen. When there are plenty of other well-renowned actors that honestly are just as good. Freaking.
The only other one I can name offhand that was. Only other well-known actor I can name offhand that were in those movies was Ian McKellen, who did Magneto.
Right? Do you remember who
and
did?
Who was the guy who did Professor X? Who was he?
Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, I don't know why I couldn't think of him. Yes.
He's a pretty big name.
Yeah.
Captain John Picard, USS Enterprise. But yeah,
I don't know why I forgot him, but.
But anyways,
I hear people overall the first one wasn't liked either, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was all right. Well, I actually recommend. All right, I'll go ahead and spoil this much. The movie retcons pretty much the last few really crappy X-Men movies. Like, they changed the past so that they never happened. And you know what? I'm okay with it.
So that like X2 and X3 never happened because I disliked both of them.
Is that the one with Dark Phoenix?
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't happen. They retconned it.
Like a big problem with X3 was that you had like every single one of the X-Men that ever, was part of the franchise in any way, form, or fashion, even the most minor of characters, they would just appear on screen for like a second or maybe in several different scenes and just never say anything.
Right. Well, I mean, it's
so it's
fan
like
service.
they're in the movie, but they're not in the movie.
Well, I mean, there was a bunch of that in Days of Future Past. Like, there was a lot that had there's some big names that didn't have a whole lot of like role, like Bishop and Colossus and stuff like Colossus was there, and unfortunately he never went like whoa. like that really would have been a good opportunity, kind of like when they had Juggernaut and he's like, "You can't stop me, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch."
I think that was actually one of the problems I had with it.
Well, no.
Like moment when he actually used like his own internet meme in,
Well,
the movie.
the thing was he was a Brit, and the accent didn't really lend well to the meme,
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's fine. I appreciate the
Attempt.
nod, yeah. And look, you got it.
Yeah. Notice how that actually kind of winded her. If this had been like Leon or Chris by RE4's time, they could have like been ran over by the boulder and it would have just taken off like half their health.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they wouldn't
or they
even-
just start over from a checkpoint right before.
Yeah, they wouldn't even be breathing hard after.
But another thing about Days of Future Past is, while yes, it featured Wolverine like a lot of the time, they weren't scared to pull the camera off of him at a lot of key points. And in fact, the last 20 minutes of the movie, he wasn't even in it. Like something happened, he got pulled aside, he was done, and you didn't see him again till the very end. And I'm like, you know what? I appreciate you just freaking letting go of the bottle.
It's nice to know you're suckling on less tit of Wolverine than last time.
Hugh Jackman's a Brit too.
Yeah.
You can't tell because he hides his accent real well, but he's also British.
Flame rounds. I do believe that will be.
Did you see his performance in Les Mis?
Les Miserables?
Yeah, Les Mis.
I didn't even know he was in it.
Yeah, yes, Hugh Jackman was in Les Miserables, and he sang.
Was he good?
I think he did pretty good. Like,
well, I never saw like any of the movie. I just
you've never seen Les Mis?
I just hear of it all the time.
Yeah.
Never actually seen it, so.
It's not my cup of tea, but I think he did well, considering.
Speaking of X3, for some reason, one of the characters, at least in comparison to the rest of the X-Men, like 80% of the rest of them that were featured in that movie, they focused on Shadowcat a good bit. And I mean, that's fine because I liked her in that movie, and, I came to really like Ellen Page as an actress, but
Yeah.
that just reminded me. I heard a few months ago that she came out of the closet finally, right?
Yeah.
And I just I don't know how Mom and I got into this conversation,
Uh-oh.
but when I was in Houston the other weekend, and we were just talking, and 2 flame rounds and you're done,
What?
buddy.
That was it?
Yeah. He is weak to flame rounds. Why do you think I said, "Oh, wait, flame rounds, I got them"? And
I don't
went,
remember being that weak to it. Jeez.
well, I think I had 2 really good shots.
Did they go right through his mandibles?
Probably.
I'm sorry, you were saying?
And anyway, so I was like, by the way, I just remember
You're gonna have to go get the knife in the corner.
I know. I'm waiting for the other spider to come down, but I guess it doesn't.
Oh, there it is.
And I was like, I was really disappointed to hear that Ellen Page came out of the closet because I mean, of course, I don't have a chance now. I always thought she was.
You did before.
I never believe that a girl is totally unattainable. I do not believe in that. But I know what you mean. Anyway, because I was like, man, I always thought she was really beautiful. And Mom goes, you seriously never, like, figured that out? But even, like, way before? She goes, your gaydar is...
Just...
It's not...
Your gaydar.
Your gaydar is not very strong, is it? Because I think, like, the reason she said that was because we also mentioned somebody else that I was like, what? That person's gay, really? And so it was like,
Sir Ian McKellen is gay, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it was like, it was like 2 for 2, I guess. And that's why she goes, your gaydar just doesn't work very well, does it? Because I totally knew Ellen Page was a lesbian secretly. And I'm totally not.
I think it's something about the if you're named Ellen, there's a good chance you might.
Maybe.
I can't think.
But other than her name, what is it about her? I totally cannot look at her and think.
Maybe because your sexual orientation shouldn't be dictated by how you look, speak, or act in public.
But come on, we always look for the stereotypes automatically.
Well, if you're looking for the stereotypes, you're going to see them. But some of just because you're gay doesn't mean you're going to portray those stereotypes.
Well, would you have thought for any reason looking at her that she would be a lesbian?
Not really.
That's not stereotypical.
No, not really. Oh, golly. Well, look, no boulders. You're going to survive this and you're going to be fine.
Like with this one, all you gotta do is like run up a little bit and turn to the left. And because this time the camera's kind of doing a little bit of a close up. And as soon as you go out of the menu, no.
So, I don't know if you remember, but in the last, what movie was it? In the last Wolverine movie, right?
Right.
Before Days of Future Past was the one where we went to Japan. At the end of that movie, right? Or was it that? I can't remember what movie it was. It might have been... No, yeah, it was at the end of that movie. They showed one of the like the secret characters that they were going to talk that's going to be in later movies was Quicksilver, right?
Right.
Quicksilver, of course, being like the Flash in DC, just super freaking fast, right? Like insanely fast, right? And in Days of Future Past, you meet Quicksilver as a kid, right? He's a punk and whatever, and the way he dresses looks retarded. And you were thinking, oh my gosh. And actually, a lot of people online before the movie came out were like, this dude looks like such a tard. He's going to ruin the movie, right? Dude just about stole the movie. He was a great character, and the scene where he, like, really got to delve into his powers, like, when you got to see him do his thing, was so cool. Like, I would watch that.
Which movie is this in again?
Which
the most recent one?
Yeah, it's the most recent one.
When did that come out? Because
Like
until you brought it up today, I never heard of Days of Future Past.
It was like a month ago, maybe. It's not in theaters anymore. But yeah, it's really good. And the thing is, the next Avengers movie will be featuring Quicksilver, since it's the same universe, right? But the thing is, the people that do the Avenger movies don't have the rights to the term mutants, right?
Yeah.
So whenever they talk about Scarlet Witch or Quicksilver, they're gonna have to call them something like gifted instead of mutants.
Yeah,
Which is
that's not going to make the dialogue sound like more retarded than it needs to be. But
right.
Anyway, oh god, intellectual property.
I know
laws,
it's stupid.
sometimes it's just dumb.
I mean, Quicksilver's a mutant. He is a mutant from the X-Men universe.
See, it's about this time, like in director's cut, you would pretty much be going straight to the other side of the hall and coming out into the open where the lab entrance is. No, we're actually going to be backtracking now and going through some more crap. Mostly, the next stage is to get the final item in the underground that I combine, like the stone ring to the metal plate I've already found, to create 2 stone and metal objects that I now put, after that I put into the gate that's behind like the staircase in the very first room of the whole game, the main foyer, and that's the entrance to the lab. It's like, you'd think, man, like, totally redoing the map like that? Oh my gosh, you got the geography all wrong. Oh, this sucks. And it's like, no.
Makes
I like
more
it.
sense,
I like
honestly.
it. Yeah. So,
But yeah, I don't often recommend. I don't often recommend movies because I'll be perfectly honest, or like I don't even have to be perfectly. You guys know I'm really picky about movies. I don't ever
you don't
go.
sound that picky lately, though, when it comes to going to the theater.
I don't go to the theater because I usually think movies aren't worth the cost of admission. It's like $8 a pop.
But I know at the very least you did Days of Future Past just now, right?
Well, it's
And-
because I was in Houston with Ix. Rachel was with us. We all wanted to go do something,
Right.
and Rachel's like, "Hey, let's go see the movie." And I'm like,
And then also you saw Rise of the 300 movie, the sequel.
"Yeah, well, I
Lately.
mean, I really liked the first 300 movie, and this one was not
I
as good."
kind of like it. but
Yeah,
it's like, it's really not good. It's entertaining, I guess.
Well, I mean,
I guess that
it's
would
the
be-
kind of you get the action you come for. Like you go there for the action scenes and the violence and the fighting. You get that.
And whatever that actress name is, she's pretty darn wow. Wow. Whatever her name is. I know K-Jack knew because when I brought it up while you were telling us about
he was probably just
the
like
300 sequel, he probably like stalked her all over IMDb. But we have to admit, though, the sex scene is totally pointless in that
oh
movie
yeah,
with her.
absolutely.
I mean, it is, but it's just like,
Well, come on,
if we're gonna have it, at least let the actress be beautiful, and she was.
Yeah. She yeah.
She had it going on. Don't know of anything else I really need to bring. Okay. And then since we combined the, what was it, like the shaft and the cylinder, I knew that was coming. We go back over here.
Into the caboose.
I never caught that till Sin did somehow while we were playing one time. It's like, we've been playing for years already, and he's like, he just started bursting out laughing. I was like, what? And he goes, did you not hear that? Like, I just now heard that for the first time.
It's so funny because that's our kind of humor, right?
Yeah.
Just the like the under the breath chuckle. Into the caboose. Oh, Francis, I love you.
Yeah, he is an entertaining character. But you know, it's like that sometimes. Or at least with me, sometimes I would, and I don't think we actually get the password anywhere, but it's like, it's easy to figure out just from a few combinations.
Well, that was
Well, either that, or I think you can actually look on it, and it's got it in like Roman numerals or something.
oh, okay, and you can spin it. Okay, come on. Really?
Yeah, they're gonna make you kind of point and click a lot.
So it's 1 3
1 3 2.
Oh, no,
4,
it's upside down.
4 2 3 1.
4 2 3 1. It's definitely 4 3 2 1.
That was 4231.
4357.
Thank you. I'm totally confused now. By you mentioning numbers that aren't even a part of the.
I tried my best.
You tried. But yeah, sometimes, even when I didn't like a movie that much, it's like, it was almost worth watching just because one of the actors or actresses just really stole the show. With the
Dude,
performance, and
all
you're
right.
like, whoa!
Speaking about stealing shows, right?
Right.
Barry?
You were talking about the dude that played Quicksilver.
Yeah,
right?
Quicksilver. Yeah, no, this is actually different, but I'm gonna wait till after.
The noise I heard brought me down here. I didn't expect to find a place like this.
What noise did he hear from above ground?
Probably the gunshot from Wesker when he shot
Ideas
frickin'
what might be at the bottom.
Holy Friolis,
One way to find out.
whatever his name was.
You know, that was vaguely like. Well, actually, no, that was quite racist against like Enrico's Hispanic heritage.
What? Mark Hamill. What? No.
Oh, Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Mark.
Not Mark
Well,
Wahlberg, but Mark Hamill.
Admittedly, that's not as bad as getting Keanu
Keanu
Reeves
Reeves.
and Liam Neeson mixed up. You at least got the first names right.
Marky Mark and the Funky
Go check
Bunch.
it out. Yeah, there's surprises for
Mark
me.
Hamill. Wow.
I'll stay here and secure our escape.
They've got nothing in common but their first name. But did you see the most recent Avengers movie? Or the only Avengers movie?
Yeah, well, you, me, Ix, and Sim all went to see it together. That
Oh,
time.
right. Alright, so here's the funny thing. So, I don't know if you saw the original Hulk films, right?
No, I didn't.
The actor who played Hulk did not want the role in the Avengers movie because he thought because he believed he wasn't getting the screen time he needed, right? So they
Right.
gave that role to the guy that played him now. I can't remember his name. But out of all the Avenger members in that movie, the Hulk freaking stole that show. Like, everything involved in the Hulk, every scene with the Hulk was just perfect. Like, they portrayed the character well. The actor did a good job, like, building the tension. Because, Bruce Banner, the doctor, right?
Right.
He's always fighting to keep his anger in control, or else, something horrible will happen. So,
Hulk smash.
yeah, or a Hulk smash, right? Just like you smashed.
I was always afraid the first time through that this thing was
Gonna
gonna
go
come
back down.
Yeah, well, it was, but luckily it never.
But, like, I don't know, like the recruiting scene where
Oh,
he
that's right. I put something
slams
over
his
there.
hand down on the table and yells, stop lying to me! That actually makes me jump. Because,
It does.
Yeah, because of the tension. Because, Hulk is such a monster. Like, I think the way it works is if he loses control when he turns, he doesn't control the monster. He's not in control, and the Hulk does his thing. But if he allows
I'll
himself
stay and secure our escape.
to transform, he stays in control whenever he's fighting. So, whenever something's causing him to be upset, you're like, stop, please. No, don't do this. So, there's the scene on the freaking...
Oh, by the way, Lisa's second appearance.
Oh, yeah.
You just kind of got to keep juking around her.
Oh, my
It's
gosh.
pretty easy to do.
Ooh.
Just the way she just kind of shambles
Whoa.
after you. Okay, that's locked, so I believe we need to go into this door right here. And luckily, she returns to her original position every time you come back, so you don't
She
don't
goes
end up like
waddling
opening
back.
the door and just facing
Get a
her.
face full of, hand stocks.
That really does have to hurt. Like,
Just clock.
well, if you were talking about, like, there's only one Avengers movie so far, right?
Right.
The one we
The
saw.
one we saw.
all together. And of course, like, friggin' Robert Downey Jr. is the man as always.
He's like the Hugh Jackman of the X-Men movies.
yeah.
Like, you can't... It's gotta have Iron Man. To me, I think it's gotta have freaking Nick Fury, man. Took me a while to realize.
Who played him again?
Really?
I totally don't remember. Help me out, man. Samuel L. Jackson.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about a totally different character. Oh, like I was never into like the Marvel DC stuff. So
Right.
I was thinking about okay, what's the name of the dude that like didn't really have like superpowers. He was just kind of like, he was kind of more like Black Widow. He was
Hawkeye?
above average physical. Yeah, Hawkeye, the dude with the bow.
Dude, he was awesome.
Now who played him?
I don't
for
know.
some reason that's who I was thinking.
I
about
don't know who played him, but he looks really familiar. I'm sure I've seen him in something else. But speaking of forgettable X-Men, right? So this is an X-Men that's never been in a movie. He's only ever been in the comics, right?
Right.
He's an X-Men, right?
Yeah.
He's actually part of the X-Men group. Like he's part of them. Like Professor X is the X-Men, right?
Right.
His name is Forget-Me-Not, right?
I have never heard him before.
Yes. No, you haven't. So, get this.
And he sounds retarded.
He's awesome. I actually really like this character.
Really?
His mutant power is no one can remember him. Like, any memory that it was created in his presence of what he said, what he looks like, any information he's given, the second eye contact, like, line of sight is broken, those memories are gone, right?
Then how can he ever stay a part of like
he can't.
Anybody's
Professor X. You remember Professor X? He's got the strongest mental capacity aside from Dark Phoenix, right? He actually programmed into his mind this updater every 1 hour. His mind reminds him that Forget-Me-Not exists, right?
Right.
So every hour, he's reminded, he forgets. He's reminded, he forgets. So that, if there's something that needs... Because he's the perfect, he's the perfect spy,
Right, because even if somebody sees him, if he just drops out of their sight, they don't remember
So,
him.
for that kind of stuff, he's great. But can you imagine, how lonely his life is, as a person?
Yeah.
He also has some kind of ability to alter people's... he can, there's the mind thing, but he also has the ability to alter people's accuracy. They can't, aim at him because of, something. I don't know what that part of that was. But the idea of Forget-Me-Not is really cool. And the funny thing is, you're like, I've never heard of him. Maybe you have, but you lost eye contact.
Well,
Crane, crush! Like Hulk smash.
I remember that movie Kick-Ass, for instance.
One of the only times Cage was in a film that I didn't want to stab myself in.
Nick Cage. Well,
Yeah,
it's
Nicolas
like
Cage.
everybody loved him back in the day, though, and in a way, it's like he's still good. He just doesn't
Nuts!
really.
He's nuts!
He doesn't really appear in good movies, and he's definitely insane now. He always plays an insane role.
Dude,
But-
in Kick-Ass, he did a good job. That is,
But the
by
thing
far,
is,
it's definitely not Wicker
I don't-
Man.
In a way, it's good for the movie, and in another way, it's bad. The bad part is, it's this movie, she shouldn't have been the focus of this movie. But it's good because I finally found something good about the movie. The girl who played Hit Girl, Chloe Moretz, she's fantastic.
She's a good actor.
She's amazing. She definitely stole the show in there, and it made me not regret watching Kick-Ass, even though, quite frankly, most of the rest of it, I was like, I'm getting stupider
Well,
watching
I
this.
mean, Nick Cage's character died in it. Spoilers.
Yeah. So, and it was solely because of her that I even bothered to watch Kick-Ass 2. Wasn't any better than the first one. In fact, I'd say it was probably even worse, but it was something, you know?
Right, yeah.
And it was just kind of like, well, you know me, I'm SK. I mean, I'm definitely going to find a chance to compliment a woman in particular,
Of course.
because that's me.
eye roll.
Is she in my way? I don't know.
Lisa,
Don't-
you're trying to tear me apart!
And made it on just in time. Okay. Yeah, like the thing comes back up if you.
Yeah,
too
if you
long.
take the... Yeah.
And then like probably by that time Lisa's got you cornered in this.
She's like, hi!
But it was like with that movie I told you about that I watched over last weekend, and
What's that creepy doll? Go back a screen.
Creepy
I've never
doll.
noticed that before. Go back one more screen. Look at that doll under that, like, table.
oh,
Ugh!
can you talk? The desk is clear with old beat up dolls and used candles.
Ugh! It's...
I didn't even think Lisa would have like the motor skills to make a doll or light a candle.
She,
I mean, I think she has
how did she
more
even
of her
get in this
mind-
room?
She has more of her mind than zombies do, but
It's not that... No, she's not a zombie. She's just insane,
Yeah.
right? No, she has to have something. Because, you know, her body's deformed, you know? She's literally invulnerable to bullets.
well, yeah, they discovered the G virus in her, right?
Yeah, I guess so. So, yeah, she's infected. Maybe she's like Wesker, and the virus doesn't actually affect her the same way it, you know, affects normal people. They don't really actually explain that.
I don't think she's quite as smart as him, though.
No.
Man,
Yeah, well, she's capable of saying, "Wah!"
So it's like the way it went down was somewhere in the 50s. Edward Ashford and Spencer, like, discovered the mother virus from those flowers in Africa
In
that
Resident
you
Evil 5.
find out about in
yeah.
RE5, and then like by this time in the 60s, they managed to kind of like cultivate into the progenitor type.
Right. Which is not the final, like, production.
Yeah, and then it was like James Marcus combined it with the DNA of a leech, and that made the T virus. And I kind of have to roll my eyes at the leech part.
What?
It just doesn't.
Maybe it would be better if it was a lamprey instead of a leech. Oh, gosh.
Those things freak me out, man.
They should freak anybody out. They're like mini trimmers.
They are. They are. Oh, and then like, I guess, along with the pictures.
And if y'all have never seen a lamprey, Google image those things and
See, it's
imagine
like,
one of those latching onto
Lisa's
you.
already in her insane state, but she can still kind of write. I mean, I'm sure like the text in the diary
It's
is not actually
not-
as well written. It's just for our sake
You
as
know-
the player. But
In Cards Against Humanity, one of the cards is a lamprey launching itself out of your toilet and latching onto your taint.
ow. Because Mom's sad when I meet her without her face. Does that mean... Wait. I got Mom's face back. So, do you actually know where her corpse is, and you're actually going back and visiting it without her face? You've got her face on you.
That reminds me of another Nick Cage movie, Face Off. God, that was another awful movie.
Oh, was it really?
Oh,
I figure,
yes.
like, just the fact that Nick Cage and John
I
Travolta
think-
are there together, they probably, like, make the movie entertaining with just...
They're
them saying-
look, at one point in the movie, it was John Travolta acting like Nick Cage, and Nick Cage acting like John Travolta. Like, you're like, oh,
Did
gosh.
that work?
No! I don't think it did!
Oh, but anyway, like the movie I saw last weekend. Oh, yeah, it's definitely mid-time. Guys, okay, we're done with the underground part at last. Next time we will be on our way back to the main foyer, open up the weighted lab, and we'll access the final part of the game, and see you then.
Peace!